I don't know what's going on with the phone. Morning, guys. How are we doing? Hope you're good. Wednesday morning. So, formalities straight away. So, if you're listening on podcast, please do drop a review. It would mean a lot to me. I'm just going to scroll down the feeds on the iTunes, and there's a little review system there. Also, if you're watching this video and you follow, just drop a share. It'd be amazing for us. Also, if you're looking to join us for a little trial in the Brotherhood, do some coaching, do some eye-opener, see what the guys are doing. There's like up to 110 guys in the Brotherhood at the minute, and it'd be interesting for you to come and see what they're up to, how they're moving forwards, how they're progressing with their fitness, their mindset, their life, coping mechanisms, all of that good stuff. All right, so there's a link directly below. You can start next Monday. Okay, so I'm going to talk about how I control the ugly side of life, all of the stresses, the overwhelm, the problems that we all face. I want to share some of those tactics with you, some of those coping mechanisms. Come here and how I implement, them with the guys in the Brotherhood. So we're all faced with the ugly side of life, right? So if you've been following me, you'll know that our van broke down in France last week. And that was really tough to deal with. But we got it back to the UK yesterday, and then I got the call from Mercedes yesterday to say that the engine was finished, and that it was going to cost $6,000 for a brand new engine. And I know what you're thinking, right? Fucking, what the hell? I actually was just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I was more grateful just to be home, to be safe, to have had that great holiday with the kids. And I almost expected it. And when I put it into perspective, I just think it's a piece of metal with four wheels. I'm going to sell it on eBay, probably get 1,500 quid for it, $2,000, something like that, for the parts. And it's actually decent. It just, somebody who's an enthusiast will buy it and do it up properly. And then just get a new van, just put it on the finance that I've already got and just continue, hopefully. So it's not worth stressing about, things like that. What is the point? It is what it is. You've got to roll with the punches, right? You've got to learn to adapt and overcome. You can't see this dog, but he's just pulled a great big branch out and run around with it, lunatic. You've got to learn to adapt and overcome. And adapt and overcome is one of my favourite words. It's one of my favourite sayings. It's something I picked up in the military when I was serving in the military. Because just like in today's world, military life is no different. We have highs, we have lows. And you have to roll with the punches. You have to adapt and overcome. One minute you're living a great life. The next minute something's happening. It's causing you distress and problems. And it's consuming you, and you let it consume you because you feel that it's important. Now, there are a lot of circumstances that really a lot of people are wasting their energy, time, and life with. Okay, such as a knobhead boss, such as a negative environment around you. Okay, such as your car, such as your relationship, all of these things. Like, why do we let them consume us? As soon as there's a problem, we stop everything that we're doing, everything good that we are doing, and all of a sudden, we revert back to bad habits, we revert back to bad routines, we won't let things go, we let them stew, we let them build, and then as that's building, you're finding you're having emotions of overwhelm, stress, frustration. And this is not obviously going to be very good for your body or your brain. Now, how I look at this and how I see it is that you can either let that consume you, you can either let it take over your life, you can either make bad emotional decisions because you're going to let whatever situation that you're going through affect you. And this happens a lot when people are trying to get fit. People are getting into a really good routine, right? And then something will happen, and then they'll get distracted because they don't have the basics in place. They don't have a good coping mechanism in place to deal with problems. They don't have structure in place to fall back on that. Even when it's hard, and life is hard, they suddenly just stop the fitness. It's the first thing that they stop. I'm just not in the right frame of mind. I just don't think I can do it right now. Now's just not the right time. Fuck off. Fuck off. Honestly, the bullshit that I hear. right now is always the right time. The last thing that you should be stopping is looking after yourself and your well-being. No, there are no circumstances where you shouldn't be doing that. There are no circumstances where you shouldn't be still looking after yourself. Because you are the main priority in this life. The only reason you're still alive is probably because, you're still eating, you're still moving. But eventually, after age catches up with you, okay, the natural reaction to not looking after yourself is that your body's going to start closing down on you. It's a natural process. And the more that you look after yourself, the more likely you are to be still more mobile, to avoid disease, to avoid unhealthy heart conditions, to avoid high blood pressure. So there is no excuse for neglecting yourself, ever. No problem that can overwhelm you that much that you decide that you want to fucking neglect yourself. Okay, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And if you're going to be the best version of yourself, if you're going to be a dad, if you're going to be around to watch your kids grow up, if you want to grow up old with your partner and achieve all the goals and dreams that you want to, go on the holidays that you want, live the experiences that you want to, got to stop fucking around with these problems, man. I'm telling you, honestly, you are wasting your energy and time on shit that doesn't matter or shit that is out of your control. There is no way that you can be constantly consumed in the ugly side of life, because it's going to fucking consume you, it's going to eat you up, and it's going to spit you up, and it won't give a fuck. And you would have wasted all of that time and energy trying to fucking deal with it. So we need to learn to let go. And I was listening to a podcast yesterday whilst I was running. It was brilliant. Tony Robbins it was. And I've been doing something similar anyway. But what he has is this 90-second turnaround. And you embrace the problem for 90 seconds. So you take it on. You go, okay, let's have a look at this. How can I deal with this problem? What is the problem? In the bigger picture, is it a fucking real problem? And in 90 seconds, you let go. You just let go of it. In the most extreme sense, if a problem is someone's welfare, well-being, life on the line, then obviously this probably doesn't apply, because you have to deal with that grief or somebody becoming ill, somebody who might have been involved in an accident or something. You obviously have to go and deal with that problem. That's the next sort of level. But we're just talking everyday life problems. Everyday life, the ugly side of life, the little things that are stressing you out. I want you to try it. So 90 seconds, go in hard at that problem. Ask yourself, is it really a problem? Ask yourself, is it going to affect your life? Ask yourself in 3, 6, 9, 12 months, is it still going to be a problem? Are you still going to be thinking about it? And then fucking let it go. Spit it out, let it go, move on. And our brains are very much like our muscles. So we work out our muscles, right? We work out our biceps, we work out our chest, we work out our legs. And the more that weight that we lift, the bigger our muscles get. The more that we run, the better at it that we get. And our brain is exactly the same type of muscle. The more that we train it to do something, the more, let's wait for this car to go past, the more effective and efficient your brain is going to be. The better it is going to be dealing with stress, frustration, problems, ugly side of life. It's going to recognise those signs. But you have to start practicing these little things like the 90-second let go, or having some coping mechanisms where you put things into perspective, where things just don't matter. You don't give too much of a shit about it. You only concentrate on the things that you're in control of. You only concentrate on the things that really matter. And that way your energy is I can't get my tongue around it. Reserved for those particular situations, you know? And that's what we deal with. We deal with the things that matter. To deal with things that we can deal with, things that we are in control of, not the things that we're coping with, not the things that are out of our hands, not the things that are becoming an even, like, that are just nothing. They're nothing problems. Like a $6,000 engine, trying to change an engine, it's not really a fucking problem, is it? It's not really a problem. Yeah, it's $6,000. I'm not going to pay fucking $6,000 because I don't have $6,000 for an engine. But there's no point stewing over it because it's not in my control. Me getting angry about it is not going to suddenly make the car better. It's not going to suddenly like fucking spring load £6,000 on me to fix the van, is it? Just going to have it sold. I'm just going to have to go through the process of doing it, and you just get on with it. And I want you to think about that every time you're facing a problem. I want you to think about the beautiful moment. And in that beautiful moment, that's where you're learning to let go. It's just that learning to let go after 90 seconds of dealing with the problem, putting yourself in that position, just stopping, asking yourself, do I need to deal with this? If the answer is fucking no, spit it out, it's gone, done, all right? And I think if you can practice things like this, then you'll be able to be a bit more sustainable, a little bit more consistent with your training, with the things that are going on around you, because remember, the bigger part of training is dealing with the surroundings. So many people are not fit, or are not in shape, or are not being consistent or sustaining a routine because they're being so distracted. If we can control the distractions, we can then develop even more within our fitness. I hope that helps. Again, if you are listening, please do drop a share. Please do drop a review on the podcast. Appreciate you all listening, guys. Hope you have a great hump day. Great Halloween if you're trick-or-treating. I remember doing the trick-or-treats back in Plymouth when I was in the military. It was like America. It was like we got hit on the first day and we had to turn off all the lights and pretend we weren't in because we were giving away our Christmas sweets. And I'll never forget, literally, we were cringing on our sofa whilst everyone was knocking on the door. It was embarrassing. And then the year after, we bought loads and then ended up going out to do it. So we were fucking stuffed with sweets leading up to Christmas. Listen, hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you all real soon.